Welcome to Realm Painters. In today's video, I'll be painting the Cathay Jade Warriors. I know it's something a bit different from AOS and 40k, but I just couldn't pass up the opportunity to paint these guys. I really loved the design of these models when they first came out, I would say I think it was like a year ago, and since they've been in my pile of shame for this long, I just thought, I finally now have the opportunity to paint these guys, so why not make them a tutorial? Also, let us know if you want to see more old world models. I know we've been doing a lot of AOS. I know people are interested in 40k, but if you want to see more old world, just let us know. But other than that, let's get to painting. Before we begin painting, let's prime the model black. I use Citadel Chaos Black Primer. Let's get the skin out of the way by base coating the skin in Dunebold Brown. Then we can start the base highlight with Cadian Flesh Tone, covering most of the skin except between the fingers, the skin around the helmet, and the creases between the cheeks and nose. Then with a mix of Dunebold and Cadian Flesh Tone, you can make a glaze to smooth out the skin highlights and shading. Once we get that base highlight down, we can do a smaller highlight with Kislev, which will be added on the top of the nose, on the upper cheeks, upper lip, and knuckles. Now we can continue on to the eyes by base coating them in Wraithbone. If you'd like, you can add irises in the middle of the eyes, but I'll just skip that for now, not because I'm scared to mess up or anything. But if you're going to stop here, the skin is done. We'll continue on with the armor. With that, let's work our way from the underlayers to outer layers. The lowest layer will be the red robes under all the armor. We'll base coat this with Corn Red. This should include the lower skirt, arms, and back. Once we get that base coat down, use watered down Agrax Earthshade to darken the overall color and to shade the folds in the fabric. Once that's fully dry, we can go ahead and highlight the fabric with Mephiston Red. Lastly, with Evil Sun's Red, edge highlight the bottom of the skirt and a small section of the creases. Now we can continue on with the scale mail, metal plating, and helmet by base coating them in Lead Belcher. Then with Nuln Oil, give all the silver pieces a good wash. Once that's dried, use Runefang Steel to highlight the edges of the armor and the silver sections is done. Next up, let's paint the leather trim around the armor by base coating in Dune Bowl Brown. Then with watered down Agrex Earthshade, we can wash the leather in order to shade the crevices. And once that's dry, we can edge highlight with Scrag Brown. Next, we can do a quick coat of Rakehearth Flesh and paint the string on the collar and pants. Now that we have most of the armor and cloth completed, let's begin painting some of the green areas. Base coat the scarf on their waist, the trim on their shoulder plates and gauntlets, the plume, and gems on both forehead and the waist with Chalybite green. Then wash the green with watered down Aldari Emerald. Once that's fully dry, we can use Saburite green to highlight the creases in the fabric, the edges on the armor sections and gems, and the strands throughout the plume. Then we can continue with the black sections in the armor by base coating in Abaddon Black. This will include the straps around the waist, the straps under the gauntlets, the boots, and the shoulder straps. Once those are all base coated, we can go in with Dark Reaper to edge highlight all the black sections. Now with Lead Belcher, paint the soles of the boots and the tiny rivets on the lower belt before giving them a wash of Nuln Oil. Once that's dry, use Runefang Steel to highlight the tips of the toes and rivets. The last color section for the armor will be gold, which we'll be using Liberator Gold to paint the plume base, the rim around the gem on the forehead, and belt detailing. We can then use Seraphim Sepia to lightly wash over the Liberator, adding more into the deep crevices in the plume base. Once dry, edge highlight the Liberator with Runefang Steel, and the armor is done. Now onto the accessories. This section will cover the sword hilt, bag, and teapot. We'll start off by base coating the hilt and bag with Rhinox hide. Then edge highlight both sections with Dunable Brown before adding stress marks on the leather. Then we can base coat the teapot with Warp Block Bronze before adding some highlights on the top with Balthazar Gold. Next we can add Liberator Gold to both the sword sheath filigree as well as the teapot trim, handle, and pouch clasp. Make sure to leave a black circle on the opening of the sheath to show that it's hollow inside. Once that's all coated, we can use Seraphim Sepia to wash over the Liberator Gold. Then with Runefang Steel, add a tiny amount of highlights over the parts of the gold. Now that the big parts are done, we can add the little details, starting with the wooden handle on the teapot by base coating that in Steel Legion Drab. Then with Rakarth Flesh, you can add tiny grain textures onto the handle before painting the rope connecting the teapot and bag onto the belt. Next up, use Calibite to base coat the gem on the sheath before giving a wash of watered down Aldari Emerald. Once that's dry, use Sabarite to edge highlight the gem, and the accessories are complete. Now we're starting with the last section, which will be the weapons, by keeping with the green. Base coat the shield and sword tassel in Calibite. Then with very watered down Aldari Emerald, wash the green. Once all dry, I like to edge highlight this rim around the shield with Sybarite while highlighting around the tassel as well. We can continue on with the shield by base coating the design in Corn Red. Definitely be careful not to overpaint and hit the green. Then I like to highlight around the design with Mephiston Red. I usually like to add this on the corners here and also on the ends of the lines like this. Now that we got most of the shield done, we can start on the silver sections by base coating the rim and handle on the shield in sword blade and tassel ring with Bloodbelcher. Then, as always, give it a wash of Nuln Oil. Once dry, use Runefang Steel to edge highlight both the blade and shield rim in rivets. Also make sure to paint these inner rivets in the green sections. We're so close to getting this model done. All we need to do now is getting the sword done by base coating the handguard and bottom with Liberator Gold, followed by a wash of Seraphim Sepia. Once dry, edge highlight with a little bit of Runefang Steel. Lastly, add little dots of Dark Reaper around the sword handle, and the model is done. I hope you liked today's video. I think these guys have a good mix of having a lot of detail. However, if you do have a recipe down, they're very easy to figure out. I will be painting the Jade Lancers for the Cathay soon, so just stay tuned for that. Also, please make sure to like and subscribe. We would really appreciate it. We actually just hit 1,000 not too long ago. Or I guess 1,000 subscribers not too long ago. And we just really appreciate every one of you. Thank you. But other than that, we'll see you in another realm.